Cheers everyone, it's Laura with How's It Growing, and welcome to episode 4 of Wine and Weeds. So you'll notice I couldn't have been bothered by having a fancy drink or mixing anything up. Heck, I couldn't have even been bothered with a bottle opener or removing a cork because I have so much to say about this pest right here. This is one of my favorite types of wine. This is Yellowtail, and this one is called Jimmy Red Roux. It's an Australian wine. If you like reds, if you like Cabernet with like a little slight kind of fruity taste to it, I think you would really enjoy this. It says this one, I'll read the info for you. It says it's sweet and vibrant with notes of juicy red berries, vanilla, and chocolate. I don't taste any of those things. Maybe a little bit of berry, but you know, I'm not the biggest wine snob in the world. I just like what tastes good. So there you have it. I'm gonna skip right into the weed because it's not really a weed. It is an herb. This is Houtinia Chordata. And I don't like you, Houtinia Chordata. I don't like you at all. Guys, this is the most invasive plant I've ever come across. It has medicinal properties. You can use it for cooking. You can make tea with it. It goes by some other names, chameleon ivy, because it has this lovely variegation, sold as hot tuna as well, which will lead me to the next name that you may find it as fish mint. So you can imagine the lovely aroma that wafts through the air and sticks to my hands when I pull this thing. And it doesn't smell like fish, it just smells really bad. I typically enjoy calling it, and it fools you and it sucks you in and it says, "Buy me, I'm so pretty." Here, this is faded, but it has these even pretty little white balloons that really trick folks into buying it. So I think it's unconscionable that nurseries even sell this plant anymore here. It's marketed as kind of a bog, shady, moist area ground cover, which in that situation, it would be great. If you don't have neighbors and you have an area that you just want covered with something with interesting foliage and little white flowers, by all means, plant Houtinia Chordata. So if you see it at a nursery, you may want to point out to the nursery owner that this is an invasive, non-native, and they should maybe put a little warning, maybe not sell it at all. I have no love for this plant. Okay, so Houtinia Chordata spreads via rhizome, and if I'm being honest, it spreads via everything. If you drop a little piece of this root, a little piece of this stem, a little piece of the leaf, and you walk away, you're gonna have little baby hot tunas all over the place. Trust me. When I first moved in, about 18 years ago, I saw this variegated ivy creeping up and it didn't really bother me. I didn't think anything of it. And then as I started to get into the gardening and wanting to plant the landscape up more and, make it my own, I just noticed it popping up here and there and everywhere, up through the roots of my plants and my shrubs, and I just couldn't get rid of it. I'd pull it and it would come back. I'd pull it again and it would come back. So I did a bit of research, really pre-sophisticated internet searches, if you can believe that, back in the Stone Age. But I found a support group, a chat board online, talking about how to eradicate Houtinia Chordata. We all kind of bounced ideas off of each other. There was lots of suggestions, landscape fabric, all sorts of things that you would typically want to try and smother something out. I tried every last one of them. We used to have a sidewalk here that was concrete, and this Houtinia Chordata took off under the pavement and came out about 5-6 feet on the other side. There's just no stopping it, truly. So it's herbaceous, it's an herb, it dies back into the ground, and every spring I look out my window and I go, maybe it's gone, maybe it's gone, maybe it's not coming back this year. And then as the temperatures start to rise, sure enough, little sprouts all over the place because there's no getting rid of it. I actually trenched this entire bed, removed every plant, sifted through it, pulled out the rhizomes, pulled out the roots, let things sit for weeks. And then if I saw a little sprout starting to emerge again, pulled those out. And I kept doing this and doing this and doing this. And I did start to notice it was slowing down a bit, but the problem for me is it's coming from the other side of the fence. I have, to save my sanity and to save all this extra work, I have adapted a not if you can't beat them, join them, because I'm not joining it. I don't want to see it. And I'm not going to live with it. I am going to deal with it how I would deal with other weeds in my garden though. It's really the best method if you're in a situation where you don't have full control and you can't get rid of something because it's a shared problem. All you can do is your best. I don't use chemicals here at all. I'm sure if I put pesticides on this, it would eventually over time eradicate it. Since I'm not willing to do that, I have chosen to come out here every week or two as part of my weekly garden maintenance, and I just pull it like I pull weeds, and I dispose of them. Not in compost. You don't want to mix that in with compost and have those seeds perpetuate and go into other areas of your garden. No, no. You know, burn it. Burn it if you can. If you're able to, that would be the best solution. I've grown plants that I've wanted to take divisions of and give to family or friends, or maybe I want to dig out a shrub from here and move it to a different border. I'm afraid to do it. Everything I've ever taken out of here, the rhizomes of the Houtinia Chordata are intermeshed, intertwined so deeply. I managed to get some of them out. It's all spaghettied in, but if there's just that little piece, you're just giving somebody else a whole mess of problems. So, you know, it's just not good. It's not good at all. So I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to show you this patch of green Houtinia that's over here and basically what I do to get rid of it. I'm just hand pulling it and I do it once a week, but I'd like to show you. So here's a little patch. I did let this go just for demonstration purposes. And you can see here, it's even coming up through my boulevard cypress over here. It will grow quite tall, but I'll just come in once a week, once every couple weeks, and pull it out. It is even a bit difficult to pull. You see how it broke? I got some of the roots there, but guess what? There's the rhizomes that go down several feet. Several feet. It is no joke. I have dug way, way down in this bed and still found the rhizomes from this plant. Give a tug. I make sure I get all the pieces into my debris bag because I don't want this trailing along and getting into other areas. But that's it for me. This one is a bugger. I have no love for this Houtinia Chordata. I don't think you will either. Don't get sucked in by the pretty leaves and the little white flowers. It stinks and it basically makes any bed that it's in look wild and unkempt and just bad. And it grows fast. So I'm very interested in seeing what Erin is dealing with in her garden this week. So let's see what she's up to.
Hey everyone, Erin from The Impatient Gardener. It's been raining this afternoon, but it's still warm, so we've got that kind of tropical rain feel going on here. So I thought for today's drink, I thought I would transport us all to the tropics, because to me, this drink transports me straight to a beach. Usually somewhere in the Caribbean, but if it's a warm summer day, any beach will work. I am going to be making a real daiquiri. Stress on the real. This is not some sort of blended up strawberry sugary thing. I don't deal well with sugary drinks. That's like a ticket straight to Hangover City for me. So this is tart and super refreshing. And if you are a lover of lime flavors, this is where it's at. Really simple ingredients here. White rum. I am a rum drinker, but the only time I drink white rum is in this drink. Otherwise, I drink dark rum. Simple syrup and fresh lime juice, and that's all you need. Okay, here we go. 2 ounces of white rum. I'm just using Bacardi. That's sort of the standard, right? Into your cocktail shaker. 2 ounces and maybe a skosh more of fresh squeezed lime juice. This is usually about like 2 limes basically, and I do like it really limey, so I'm going to put in just a, like I said, a skosh more, and about ½ an ounce of simple syrup, because we're just trying to cut that tartness. We're not trying to make this a sweet drink. Into the cocktail shaker. I like to give it a really good shake. Kind of gets a little frothy. take your ice that's in there, water your plants, and strain it into an up glass. You're gonna drink this, it's not a lot. You're gonna drink this quick, and it's gonna be the most refreshing drink you have this summer. I can almost guarantee it. If you want to get fancy about it, you can garnish it with a little bit of lime on the side. I'm telling you guys, straight to the Caribbean. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Probably one of my very favorite summer drinks. I rarely really allow myself to have this. This is quite a treat. So, cheers. So I bet a lot of you recognize this weed. This is broadleaf plantain. A lot of times it'll grow in your lawn. Mine grows occasionally in the lawn, in cracks, whatever. Interesting plant. It's generally a good sign that you've got some compaction in the area. It likes growing in like compacted soil. So if you see a big area of it in your lawn that has it, you might want to pull it and then maybe aerate your soil in that area because something's getting a little mucked up there. So here's the thing with broadleaf plantain. It's edible. Again, I have not tried it. I told you guys, I just don't, by the time I'm done pulling a weed, I rarely feel like eating it. But it is edible, and it has a ton of medicinal uses as well. Now, I'm not really up on herbalist type things and using plants for medicinal uses, so I'm always wary of advising people on how to do that. But I am going to give Laura a couple of links to include in the description for you, because there are some people who make some great salves out of plantain. It can be very useful for insect stings. So, I mean, again, in terms of how bad is this to have in your garden, and also it's not that hard to dig up. I mean, this is probably on my weed scale again. We're probably at a 2 on this one. It's a little ugly in the lawn. If you're looking for a perfect lawn, there's a lot of mosquitoes, and they're kind of on me, sorry. It's a little ugly in the lawn, but I mean, I don't mind. You guys know my deal with lawn is if it's green, I'm good with it. So anyways, that's broadleaf plantain. Lots of things you can do with it. If you have a big patch of it, you know, maybe you want to think about just using it for something. It is a perennial, by the way, so you might as well deal with it. If you don't like it, you might as well dig it up. And you can see right here, this is where it's going to flower and set, maybe you can see that, and set seeds. So obviously seeds, and apparently seeds can like live in the soil for like 60 years, so you're never really getting rid of it. So maybe you want to find a good use for it. All right, I told you guys this drink was not going to last long. I drank about half of it while I was looking for whatever weed I was going to feature today. This drink will make all your weeding woes go away, I promise. You're probably not going to drink a ton of these either in any given night, but I'll tell you what, it's just the best. All right, so there's your weed, plantain, and a fabulous drink that I hope you try. Let me know what you think about it. All right, back to Laura.
So I did want to give you guys a heads up that next week we are taking a break and there will be no wine and weeds, but we will pick up again on Erin's channel the following Friday. So definitely be sure to check that out, and happy weeding, everybody. Have a great weekend.